been following for months. The Green Bay Area School District Board is working to consolidate more schools amid a budget constraint.
The board hearing tonight from the district's new superintendent. Samantha Cavalli joins us from the newsroom with an update on that. Samantha.
Bill and Cammie, during tonight's 2-hour work session, Superintendent Dr. Claude Tiller spoke about what the district recommends the board do at its next meeting in regards to closing 2 more schools and proposing a referendum question. One of tonight's talking points was to consolidate Tank Elementary School with Lincoln Elementary School for the next school year, along with consolidating Keller Elementary with Kennedy Elementary as well. The district also presented a preliminary list of referendum projects, including consolidating MacArthur, Keller, and Kennedy elementary schools into one new West Side Elementary, and security upgrades all across the district. Finally, the district asked the board to remove West High School from current proposed changes to allow more time to determine how the school fits into the district's long-term plan. Board member Brian Mills says he still wants the option of moving the district offices to West High.
And I'm concerned with if we pass this now, that takes away any opportunity to use referendum money to retrofit any building, specifically West High School, to take some of the staff to make sure that we are having a full building.
The board will vote on all of these potential changes on October 23rd. Cammie, Phil?